Hey, beautiful souls, welcome back to Healing Energies with Empress Shay. I'm Empress Shay. Today, we are closing out our final Jupiter Retrograde in Cancer collective reading, a journey that has guided us through deep emotional healing, ancestral reflection, and learning how to nurture ourselves from the inside out. Over these past months, Jupiter in Cancer has helped us reconnect our emotional truth, healing family patterns, honoring our feelings, and creating strong foundational within our hearts and homes. But as one portal closes, another one begins. Beginning Sunday, March 15th, will bring a brand new healing portal aligned with one of the most significant cosmic alignments of this time. That's Saturn conjunct Neptune in Aries. Yes, this alignment brings energy that heals illusions, demands maturity, rebuilds identity, and bridges spirituality with responsibility. It carries strong collective significance, unfolds over a long cycle that allows deep transformation. While Jupiter in Cancer guided us through emotional healing, this next portal is going to invite us into something even greater: spiritual embodiment and identity action. During this new portal, we will be working through daily healing lessons designed to help us dissolve all delusions and step into a greater discipline and courage, courageously become the highest version of ourselves. And beginning next week, we will also introduce a new segment called Let's Talk About It, where we'll explore the deeper meaning of the Saturn Neptune alignment and how these energies are shaping the collective path forward. Alongside that, we will begin a special cosmic reading series dedicated to Saturn conjunct Neptune. Yes, we have to have our cosmic reading, uh, helping us to understand the spiritual lessons, the reality checks, and the courageous actions this alignment is asking of us. So today we honor the closing of the Jupiter retrograde in Cancer healing portal, and we prepare ourselves to step forward into the next chapter of our collective evolution. Now let's move into our final Jupiter retrograde in Cancer reading and see what messages Spirit has for us as we complete this powerful cycle.
Is it really worth fighting for? I will give you everything and more. You ain't gotta hide, I see you behind your pride. You ain't gotta tell me, cause baby, you know that I know that you miss. I know that you tell me that you miss.
All right. If this message, hey, you know what I always say. If this message reached you, it's because the universe has been trying to get your attention, and now you are finally aligned to hear it. We got our Moonology cards. Let's get the energy for this final Jupiter retrograde in Cancer weekly collective reading. Let's get this energy, guys. Yeah. All right. So Let's see what we got, Moonology. What we got? Meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces. Woo! Okay, I hear ya. New moon in Pisces. Yeah, so meditate and contemplate. New moon in Pisces. This card speaks of dreams and romance, of soulmates and poetry. It suggests there's a new start coming your way. That's connected to a matter that leaves you feeling somewhere between having your head in the clouds and being in a totally altered state. There could be confusion and disappointment if if that's what you've had before and that's what you're expecting. Hmm. However, if you're on to a good thing, then wish hard because the words of your soul and your heart could help bring about the manifestation of your dreams. If all of that sounds a little wet and watery, then that's Pisces for you. This is the last sign of the zodiac, and the new moon in Pisces card can suggest a last ditch chance to make your dreams come true. And attuned to the moon, use your feelings to guide your way. Logic won't work right now. Additional meaning for this card is face your fears, they may be holding you back. This situation is being healed. It's time to surrender to the divine. Chant Namo Narayane. Okay, Narayane. Avoid being deceptive, avoid being deceptive or willingly deceived. And the teaching for this card is Pisces is the sign of reveries and mysteries or depth of emotion. Idealism and hopeless romantics. It is the sign of water and the unconscious. Its energy is deep while watery depths. The new moon in Pisces indicates a time to listen to your feelings and to allow your emotions free reign. Whatever you're feeling as you pull this card is more likely than the truth. Unless you've been kidding yourself somehow, and only you know if that's the case or not. Mm, very insightful, guys. Wow. So that's our energy there. Meditate and contemplate. I love it. Meditate and contemplate. Let's get these Jupiter retrogrades cards pulled and get an understanding of what is really going on around here. I love it. So, as I said, this is our last weekly collective reading. So, we are getting the tide turning. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, what we got? Tide turn, Eight of Wands, moving fast and furious. You know the momentum of that Eight of Wands. Woo, woo. And it's fire. Okay. And then the roots and lineage card is the moon. Oh, I love it. I love it. Roots and lineage is the moon. The inner waters is the King of Pentacles. Inner waters, King of Pentacles. And the hidden treasures is the Nine of Pentacles. All right, money, 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 money. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Hey, the Queen of Cups. Miss Unbothered. Okay. And she is the beliefs reconsidered. The anchor for today is the Eight of Cups. I'm loving this spread. I am loving money, love and money on board. Okay, and last but not least, the path forward is the Page of Wands and that fire. Page of Wands say, don't count out the fire now. All right, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. This week's spread is beautifully aligned with the new moon in Pisces card, meditate and contemplate. The entire reading carries a closing chapter energy. Spiritual reflection, emotional wisdom, and preparing the soul for the next evolution. This is perfect for the final Jupiter retrograde week. And then we are going to have a closing ceremony on March 10th. So let's take a look at these cards here, though. So our Moonology card was New Moon in Pisces. Meditate and contemplate. This final week is not about rushing forward. It's about soul reflection before a new chapter begins. The new moon in Pisces asks us to listen to the quiet voice within. Trust intuitive wisdom. Release emotional illusions and prepare spiritually for what is coming next. This perfectly mirrors Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, which has been asking us to heal ancestral emotions, reclaim emotional safety, redefine belonging, and grow into emotional wisdom. This final spread shows movement beginning after a deep emotional understanding. Let's look at it. We have the tide turning. It's Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands has very quick energy shifts. And that's how it's going. The energy is shifting very quickly. After months of emotional reflection under Jupiter retrograde, clarity begins to move the collective forward. The Eight of Wands represent messages arriving, realizations clicking into place, and emotional truths finally being understood. But under Pisces new moon energy, this movement comes after meditation and spiritual clarity, not reaction, alignment. And that roots and lineage, the moon, this card could not be more aligned with the new moon in Pisces. The moon represents ancestral emotions, hidden patterns, generational fears, and intuition inherited through lineage. This position suggests that many emotional patterns in our families were unconscious. An example of that is fear of abandonment, emotional secrecy, distrust in stability, and survival-based thinking. We got all of that from our inherited. It's from our families. So we get those things that we carry and have to release at some point. That fear of abandonment, we have to release that. We have to release that emotional secrecy, that we can't talk about certain things. And we have to release that distrust, not being able to trust stability. I remember there's a time when if you feel like, oh, everything is going right, something's going to go wrong, that's a distrust of stability. Okay? So that is what we have been releasing with this Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, and just being able to survive, not having survival-based thinking. Survival-based thinking is a limiting belief. It's believing that, I got to do this to survive. I'm not going to be okay unless I extend myself this way or put myself out there, or not look out for my feelings. Okay, so now we understand these things, and that awareness ends that cycle. Having that awareness ends the cycle. And the inner waters, that King of Pentacles, this is emotional maturity. The King of Pentacles represents someone who has become grounded, stable, emotionally responsible, and secure in their life. Secure in their own life. The message here is powerful. Emotional healing leads to material stability. Many people believe the opposite, that money creates emotional security. But this spread, and the truth is that inner emotional safety creates external stability. Because remember, what is happening on the inside is reflected externally. So if you're just a hot mess inside, if you are dealing with emotional instability, if you're not grounded, if you're not stable, then it's not going to be stable in your outer world as well. But we have all gotten past that, right? This Jupiter retrograde in Cancer healing portals has gotten us emotionally mature. And I just want to say right now, if you are still, don't feel ashamed, don't feel behind. If you are still wrestling with some of these things, that healing portal will stay on for at least 90 days. So I want everyone to go and get with it. Get on there and tackle these lessons and go through these daily routines and the affirmations and the journal prompts and get healed. I think I told y'all before, I used to be at work on my lunch break getting healed. I'm telling you, these things that I'm talking to you guys about right now are things that will heal your life. And be healed so you can get all your blessings. Be healed, okay? The hidden treasures, that 9 of Pentacles, OMG, okay? Oh my God. Yes, that's all about independent wealth. So the treasure discovered through this healing journey, the treasure that was discovered through this healing journey is self-sufficiency. Because that 9 of Pentacles represents independence, self-worth, personal success, and confidence earned through growth. Through Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, the collective has been learning I am safe within myself. That internal stability becomes the foundation of true abundance. And the beliefs we considered, that Queen of Cups, Miss Unbothered herself, this is a huge energetic shift. Last week, the belief was grounded in security and survival because last week it was the Queen of Pentacles. So that belief, it was grounded in security and survival. But now the belief moves to emotional wisdom. The Queen of Cups represents intuitive intellect, intuitive intelligence. Also, emotional compassion, spiritual maturity, and psychic awareness. This suggests that the collective is learning emotions are not weaknesses. They are guidance. Emotions are not weaknesses. They are guidance. And the anchor, the Eight of Cups, the anchor this week is walking away from emotional illusions. The Eight of Cups represents leaving what no longer fulfills the soul, choosing emotional truth, moving towards spiritual authenticity. Under the Pisces moon energy, this often means releasing fantasy relationships, releasing outdated identities, releasing inherited emotional beliefs. This is not abandonment. This is spiritual honesty. And that path forward, the Page of Wands, the next chapter begins with curiosity and courage. The Page of Wands represents new creative direction, spiritual exploration, and bold beginnings. This card perfectly transitions us into the next cosmic study, Saturn conjunct Neptune in Aries, which is about turning spiritual insight into real action. Wow. Now that's powerful. That is so powerful. That just takes us right into our next study. Spirit is on point. So let's talk about the planetary alignments supporting this spread. Of course, we got Jupiter retrograde in Cancer at 16 degrees. Jupiter retrograde in Cancer has been asking the collective to revisit emotional foundations and revisit family conditionings and revisit childhood safety patterns. Cancer rules the home, ancestry, and emotional memory. During this retrograde phase, the lesson has been expansion through emotional healing. This spread shows that process reaching completion. That process, it has reached completion. Because we are past that. We actually have dealt with home and ancestry and emotional memory. We've dealt with that. And if anyone needs to go back and listen to it, listen again. It's there. It's going to be there for the next 90 days for you to go back and look at it even closer. So the sun in Pisces is our next planetary alignment, and the sun in Pisces amplifies spiritual awareness, intuition, and compassion. Pisces energy dissolves illusions and encourages deep reflection. This perfectly aligns with the Moonology message. Meditate and contemplate. The sun here supports spiritual understanding before action. And Mercury retrograde in Pisces at 16 degrees. Mercury retrograde in Pisces invites the collective to revisit emotional communication, intuitive messages, and dreams and conscious insights. Mercury retrograde slows the mind so we can listen deeper. This energy supports the moon and the Queen of Cups theme in this spread. Inner wisdom becomes clearer when the external world quiets. And that Mars in Pisces at 5 degrees. Mars in Pisces is action, guided by spirit. Instead of force, this placement encourages inspired action, compassion-driven decisions, and intuitive movement. This connects very strongly with the Page of Wands path forward. The next chapter will not be forced, it will be guided. Venus moving from Pisces to Aries. Venus just moved from Pisces to Aries. This is a major emotional shift. Venus in Pisces represented compassion, romantic ideals, emotional sensitivity. Now Venus entering Aries begins a new cycle of independence, bold love, and self-worth. This mirrors the spread transition from Queen of Cups to the Page of Wands. And Saturn in Neptune. Neptune in the early part of Aries. Yeah, that's our next cosmic lesson. These two slow-moving planets are beginning their powerful alignment in Aries. This energy will shape the next cosmic study. It represents dissolving old identities of Neptune and rebuilding stronger ones of Saturn. That's the energy of Saturn. And which is exactly why the next portal is perfectly timed. And all right, beautiful souls, this brings us to the final weekly collective reading for Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. This journey has been about emotional healing, ancestral awareness, and reclaiming the inner security that allows us to grow. And on Tuesday, March 10th, I will be holding a closing ceremony for the Jupiter retrograde healing portal. That day, we will honor everything we have learned and integrate the emotional wisdom we have gained. But the cosmic journey continues. Beginning next week, our cosmic collective study will shift into a powerful new alignment, Saturn conjunct Neptune in Aries. This energy asks us to turn spiritual awareness into real-life action. Where Jupiter asked us to heal the heart, Saturn and Neptune is now asking us to build a new identity from that healing. And if you would like a personal reading aligned with your birth chart and the current cosmic energies, you can now order it directly through my website, healingexchange.net, or through my Etsy shop. And the link is in the description for the Etsy shop. It's called Healing Exchange. The Jupiter Retrograde healing portal remains open until March 11th. That's when I'll do the last healing portal. So you can still begin the lessons anytime. And every Thursday, I post the weekly collective reading. So make sure you are subscribed. And until next time, stay aligned, stay evolved, and remember, be gentle with yourself, because life is about the journey, not the destination. You are here now. Your healing changes your entire lineage. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your time here. Enjoy your journey. This is Empress Shay, and have yourself a wonderful rest of your day.